Author's statement of clarity and discernment. As I continue to examine the dreams of my life, I do so with honesty and with faith in the triune God who guides me into truth. I understand that some dreams feel spiritual, some emotional, and some simply mysterious. I also understand that experiencing unusual dreams does not mean that I am mentally unstable or spiritually lost. As it is written in 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind." Therefore, I approach this dream not with confusion, but with calm discernment, trusting that God is able to bring understanding to even the most unusual experiences. Introduction to the series entry. This next dream is simple in description, yet deep in feeling. Unlike the previous dream, this one was not frightening. In fact, it felt peaceful, quiet, and very long. The setting was not on Earth, but in what I can only describe as second heaven, outer space. The emotions I felt during the dream were almost more important than the images themselves. In this entry I will reflect on what this dream may reveal about my inner life, my spiritual journey, and my growing trust in God. Full discernment narrative. In this dream I found myself floating in outer space, in what felt like the second heaven. Everything around me was calm and silent. At first I believed that I was slowly floating toward Earth, returning home. But after a while I realized something unexpected. I was not moving toward Earth at all. I was drifting further and further away from it. What surprises me most, even now as I remember the dream, is how I reacted. I did not panic. I did not feel afraid. I did not struggle or cry out. Instead, I simply allowed space to take me wherever it would. There was a strange peace in the experience, a quiet acceptance that I cannot fully explain. For a long time in my life I wondered if dreams like this meant that I was mentally going crazy. Experiences so vivid and unusual made me question myself. But now that I am walking daily with the triune God, I know better. I understand that dreams can speak in symbols and emotions, and that they do not define my sanity or my faith. As I reflect on this dream, I see several possible layers of meaning. Floating in space may represent feeling detached from the world around me, or from the normal concerns of earthly life. Earth often symbolizes stability, familiarity, and human security. Drifting away from Earth could represent seasons in my life where I felt distant from people, from comfort, or even from my own sense of direction. Yet the most important part of the dream is not the drifting, but the peace. Even as I moved further away from what I thought was home, I was not afraid. This reminds me of Isaiah chapter 26 verse 3, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee." Though I did not understand where I was going, my spirit in the dream seemed to trust the journey. I also think about how Scripture sometimes speaks of believers as being strangers and pilgrims on the earth. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 13 says, "These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth." Perhaps this dream symbolized a deep inner awareness that my true home is not only this world. Floating further into space may also represent surrender. Instead of fighting the unknown, I allowed it to carry me. This reflects the attitude described in Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 and 6, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding."